Hello. Do you just want to ride a horse and look cool? Tired of reading endless guides on the internet and about how to play Black Desert Online? Well, search no more, because after this video you are good to go. Oops, wrong button, sorry. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. And good morning guys, RealBiotSavart here, bringing you a guide to Black Desert Online for dummies from idiot who struggled himself. So this is going to be a basic guide, giving you everything you need to know about starting this game, because at first this is so confusing, at least for me, because I hadn't played any game like this before. So hopefully this will help someone. So let's get started. So this is the world map, and you start here. And first thing you want to notice if you open this map is you can click on these towns here, which give you information about houses here. Now these blue houses are ones that you can buy or borrow, sort of. And let's get into that, how you can buy these houses, because housing is really important part of this game. And that housing involves a lot of elements such as nodes, which we're going to talk about real soon, and using workers to get you some crafting materials, for example. So how do you get a house? First let's look at the top left corner of the screen. Here we have our skill points, energy and contribution points. Now let's focus on these contribution points. You get these from various quests, and some mini quests were, for example, when you return some, exchanged some stuff for vendors, etc., and they give you contribution points. So with these points you can purchase a house. So let's click on this, where we are at the moment, idle, and you can click on this blue house here, for example, and it gives you options what to do with this empty house. You can use it for storage, for example, which adds 3 more spaces in the storage in that current town, or for example as a refinery. And this is important, you need blackstone powder for various things. So when you get this rough stone here, which is the crafting material for blackstone powder, so you wanna get this refinery. I'm not speaking any sense, but anyway, you can use these houses for a lot of stuff. For example, this, and one of the uses is residence here. Now just press to purchase here, and it shows that it requires 2 points, and I currently have 11, and it doesn't cost any money. So just go ahead and click that, and there you have your residence. And there you can, this is the outlayer of my residence, you can install some cooking or alchemy tools for your crafting, for example, and you can decorate it also, which is kind of cool. So you kind of want to get at least 1 residence, and then a couple of storages also, and then one is for lodging, where you can keep your workers. So when you're hiring workers, they need a place to crash, so purchase a couple of houses for lodging here, so you can get a lot more workers. So how do you get workers? For example, in this town, the worker dude is here. I'm gonna show you. Now this game is so ridiculously vast that it kind of feels like you have to make notes just to keep up with this. So here we have the work supervisor and contract workers. Now I don't have any more room for workers, because I am currently using all my lodging space, so I can't get any more. But if you click this, then it says that you have to use energy to see what workers they can give you. So that leads us to energy here. Now this gives you automatically 1 point for every 3 minutes. You have to kind of use them wisely, because you use this energy for a lot of shit. For example, when you are mining a tree, let's say one here, or gathering from a bush, then that takes up 1 energy. Or if you're cooking in your house, that takes 1 energy, and etc. So keep in mind when you're using that energy, although it regenerates itself, but sometimes you run out of energy and then you have nothing else to do but just to sit around and maybe do some questing. So that takes out energy and contribution points and housing. So then when you have a house for lodging, you can have a worker, and then when you have a worker, you can put them to work. Now that leads us to nodes. These here are nodes, and they all have a node manager on the nodes. So you can see these orange lines here that connects to nodes. So when I have this here, I can have a worker here. You can see he's mining wheat now. So all we have to do is walk here to the node and talk to the guy who's a node manager here and invest a contribution point. You can see here that this costs 1 contribution point. So I have invested first on the node itself and then on the particular item that you can mine there, for example here the wheat. So you invest your contribution points, and then you just click on that and make the worker starts its business, for example like here. But I currently have no workers because they are all at work, so just click on here to start working, and then the worker just runs all the way from here to the node and start working, and then when it's done you can see the items here on your town's storage. So make sure that there's enough room for all the shit here. Kind of confusing, but stay with me. So we have these nodes here that you can connect and make sort of trading routes for various places and connect towns with these nodes. So it's sort of like a mini game inside of this vast, huge ass game itself. So that was energy, contribution points, nodes, city, housing, and something about workers. Another thing about the contribution point is the fact that you can rent items. For example, here we have this dude here that, for example, we can rent this ring. It costs 4 contribution points. So let's just go ahead and rent that.
I will do anything.
And now we get the ring, and this is kind of good ring compared to the shit we have on at the moment. Now the good thing about this is that you can always return the items that you have rented, and you can contribution withdrawal here button, just press that and it gives back the contribution points, so it doesn't cost anything and you can get them always back. So just go ahead and keep investing wherever you want, because it doesn't cost anything. And also one thing about the energy is that in skills, if you get the new skill, you level up and you have skill points, don't just go ahead and press the new skill on the move, because that costs energy, and as I mentioned earlier, the energy is one thing that you need all the time. So just go ahead and find these skill instructors, and they can give you these new skills, and it doesn't cost any energy. So that's a good thing to know. About some crafting. Now this is really interesting, or not if you don't like grinding. Here you can see a bunch of guys fishing here. Fishing is the most boring thing in the universe, even in real life, so I don't see how they're gonna make it even more fun in the game. So I haven't fished in this character at all. This is my 3rd character, and I just thought to hell with it. Everything else is more interesting, so I'm not gonna do that. But here in my information you can see my professions levels. gathering, processing, etc. And as you can see, fishing is 0, 0. So let's talk about some gathering, processing and cooking. Trading is easy. Just go to the stable, buy a horse or a donkey and ride around. Here you can see there's this horse symbol. That's the stable. Just go there and buy yourself a donkey or a horse and just run around, and then you can get this training level up pretty easy. And also, if you run just with yourself without a horse, you increase this breathe level here, which gives you more stamina, which is great. So go ahead and do that. And also, if you eat stuff, you get health. And if you run around with a heavy backpack, for example a trade item, which is a heavy item, then that gives you strength. But let's not talk about those anymore. Let's focus on gathering. So you have your workers here on the wheat plantation working hard, as you can see, and they bring stuff to your city's storage. So when you press F2 you get these crafting nodes, for example cooking here. We have beer here. Now beer is important because it's easy to make and you can use it to recover your workers' stamina, because when they work they run out of stamina, of course. So here you can see the ingredients, but of course it doesn't show how many these you can use, but there are websites where you can see that. So just see the ingredients here and then go to the website for more info. So this beer, I'm gonna make this now, and you can see that it's really easy.
Money
Warehouse here, and let's get our ingredients, wheat from the stores, and then rest we can buy from merchants in the city. But I'm just gonna show a quick how you can make, for example, this melted iron shard that you need processing further into ingots and steel, for example. So go ahead and press L for processing methods. Here you can see shaking, grinding, etc. So we just go ahead and pick heating and add our iron ore and start. So this guy is heating iron, literally. So this costs energy, of course. So if you have the money, just buy everything from the market. I mean, you don't have the energy to do everything yourself, so you have to prioritize. And that is how you make iron. And it also increases your processing level. Come on. Come on. Now imagine this and you're fishing, but this fishing takes 20 times more times. 20 times more time than this, and then finally when you're done fishing you catch a shoe, so fuck you. So there we make some iron shit. Let's just deposit that to storage and go ahead and make ourselves some beer. So go find yourself a merchant on the town, not a general goods vendor, but in Heidel he's close. This guy. And shop, and then we need we're gonna make one beer, so we need 1 sugar, 2 yeast and 6 mineral water, as well as wheat or potatoes or something like that. And then we're just gonna run around in the city looking for our house. Here it is, very cozy and dark, just the way I like it. So here we have our cooking utensil, I don't know, cooking table. So where you get that, of course, we have here mineral tool workshop, and here you can make the cooking thing, and it shows the stuff that you need, for example rough stone, black stone powder, a melted iron shard, and I just showed you how to do those. So just make this with your worker, manage crafting, and click on that, and the worker is gonna start doing that. But I'm gonna make a steel hoe for now, So here you can see the worker and his stats here, and here are the ingredients for steel hoe, and just click start working, and here you go. It's gonna take 1 hour and 11 minutes. Yeah, this game is a bit grinding, but yeah. So cooking, let's just add our stuff here. And cook. Isn't this great? Yeah, and now we have beer. And then here, if you click on the workers, now they're currently working, but when they're done, you can just click recover here, and you can have them drink beer to recover this stamina, this yellow bar here. So last thing we're gonna talk about in this video is farming. Here you can see my gardens. I just produced wheat, so I can show you this worker recovery or not. Just gonna run down to the farm, one Castleman. Here. So what you need for this is you have to rent with your contribution point a fence. I have a couple of fences here. Where is the other one? Well, anyway, this is the other one, and I have my plants growing in here, and you have to buy seeds first and then just click on them on this fence. And there are a couple of guys on the city that sells the fence that you can borrow, and then there are guys that sell seeds, but you can also buy the seeds from the the marketplace. And then just watch them grow. Neat, huh? And finally some tips for all of you new players out there.
How much is it?
Buy an empty bottle and fill it up with some river water. Go to the river and fill her up. This is the logic that has it cannot be used. Come on. Yeah. This is the logic that has a lot of usage in this game. Sorry, I'm being distracted all the time, so I can't talk. So that's the logic in this game. Buy an empty bottle and fill it up with some water, and then you can process that even further. There you go, river water, and then process that, for example, to thinning, and then you get further ingredients for alchemy, for example. Pretty neat, huh? And followed by the same logic, buy 10 sugars, sorry, not sugars, but raw sugars, of course, and 1 mineral water, and da-da-da-da, you can mix them by shaking, sorry, heating, of course, and you can combine that. Did you guess it already? What you get with raw sugar and mineral water? Of course, lump of raw sugar. And with this, buy yourself some rope and catch a horse. And the final tip that I'm going to show you that should wrap up this guide to get you started on the game is conversation. Isn't that cool? Go to an NPC character, and here you can see conversation. That obviously costs energy, which we discussed already. You need it for just about everything. Here we have the blacksmith. Let's just first repair our shit. This costs 6 energy, and it builds this amity for that particular person, and that is sort of like a favor, how much he likes you. And here you can see with this enough amity we get knowledge for this, and here at 500 we get to amity shop. So here we have the shop, and as you can see, for example, this armor or these armors, you have to have 500 amity to buy it. So what you need to do is engage in sparkling conversation. Doesn't that sound cool? So this is a quick guide. Sorry, insufficient energy, so let's just go talk to someone we haven't engaged in before. Shit.
You
Here.
look like you're in need of a lot of
Conversation.
faith. You'd best work
So
hard
this
to earn
looks
some more
awfully
money.
confusing, and it is, but don't worry, this is the idiot's version, my version. So here you can see different characters that you can mix to engage in conversation, and this guy here, he has interest level of 21 and favor 28. Ignore those, just look at these characters here. For example, this guy, if you talk about this, then you get sparkling interest odds of 100%. So if you talk about this, then the sparkling interest is guaranteed. And below is interest level 5 to 11. So that's kind of cool if you compare to these other guys. For example, this, if you engage in conversation with this guy, then the chance is only 48%. But if you put this just immediately behind this guy, which has a higher percent, so then it increases this as well. You feel me? And some guys have combos here. For example, after 2 turns, favor will be reduced by 4 for 4 turns. Pretty cool, huh? Not. So let's engage in some sparking interest conversation. So just pick up guys in order that you want regarding to this interest level and the sparking interest odds. So let's pick up this guy and then this guy, and then when you're full, just press conversation, and there we have this mini game. Isn't that neat? We gained 12 amity, yeah! And what we needed for the blacksmith was 500. Yep. So what you want to do is don't press exit, because we already invested our energy. Instead we want to continuously interact here. So now we conversate some more. So let's pick our guys that we want to discuss in. Now a note, if you fail this, then you lose these 12 amities here. So choose wisely. Yep. So that was the conversation guide for dummies, brought to you by another dummy.